All right, we are here ready to talk about Time Force episodes 6 to 8. This was I feel like my intro is very low energy. I don't know what's going on. Bryce, help me. do something high energy.
What's going on, everybody? Woo! Time Force! Yay! Yeah, Time Force.
I'm pretty sure y'all could do better than that.
Yeah, welcome to the Retro Ranger wrap-up. Yeah, Blackwing. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, what's going on, folks? Welcome to the Illuminerdi, the Retro Ranger wrap-up, where we cover the past seasons of Power Rangers. Today, we are talking about episodes 6 through 8 of Power Rangers Time Force, and I got my co-hosts here, Josh, Bryce, and Corey. What's going on, gentlemen?
That was amazing, Blackwing.
Yeah, he did it. There you go. You're tired.
Yeah, Corey, do your version of the intro.
Do my no.
No, you can't do it.
That's like ask me to go up after like Dave Chappelle. I'm like,
you want me to compare Blackwing to Dave Chappelle?
No,
oh man,
that got compared to like Dave Chappelle. Like, oh, I feel honored.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
take it.
Like the compliment. Holy crap.
So how are you guys doing?
I'm
I
absolutely.
don't think I've talked to any of you in like a week.
Yeah.
We only talk to each other like
except for Corey. I talked to Corey yesterday.
So fun fact about the cast of Retro Ranger Wrap Up is that none of us are actually friends, and so we only pretend to like each other whenever we're doing the show. So there's a little sneak peek into the Illuminerdi. No, I'm kidding. Just in case people actually took that seriously. But yeah, we're happy to be here. Got some Time Force. I know Corey's really excited. This is his favorite season. And so, happy to be here.
What have you guys been up to this week? Anything exciting?
I've had like 2 job interviews. I just had 2 job interviews. I got one on Monday, so it's been pretty busy. Very.
Yeah, just been working, getting ready to move again. So that's
didn't you just move like 3 days ago?
No, not 3 days ago. Probably 3 months ago. Yes.
Yeah, I was like months ago.
Where are you moving now? Like
Indiana
Iowa or something?
Yeah, no, Indiana.
It was an I state. What's in Indiana?
My school that I'm getting ready to go to. So I don't want to dox myself. So I'm just gonna keep it at that. But I'm going to a school in Indiana.
Probably online anyway.
Yeah, probably. So.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Jonathan, what about you? What have you been up to?
Besides the job interviews, I'm trying to get back into making videos again because since my brother went back to school, now I have the spot to myself, so I could now I can get back to my stuff that I used to do, like Twitch streaming and everything. And of course, I got to pre-order the next Pokemon game, the Sinnoh remakes. So yeah, and I'm currently trying to save up for a monitor and a PS5. So there's that.
There's some good monitors out there that aren't too expensive.
I've seen some.
The one I picked up, I can't turn my camera around here for you guys to see it, but yesterday I picked up the new MSI Optics Mag 27CQ, if that means anything to anyone. It was like $350 at Best Buy. I was gonna I went in prepared to spend like $600 on a monitor, and I saw this. I was like, I'll take that one.
And it came with speakers, right?
No.
Oh.
So I haven't gone. Go ahead.
A lot of new monitors don't come with speakers.
Dang, that sucks.
But,
I haven't gone to Best Buy since I moved to a bigger city because I know I'm gonna go in there and spend like hundreds of dollars. So I've like been purposely avoiding Best Buy because I know I'm gonna walk in and just like spend like way too much money on crap that I probably don't need. And so
Corey is probably the only one here that can relate to what I'm about to say, just because both of us are not so much older than you guys, but at least a decent number of years older than the two of you. Eventually you're gonna get to a point in your life where all of your shit just starts breaking all at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because
I didn't need to hear
so long that it's just all gonna go bad. This year was that year for me.
I did not need to hear that.
Well, I'm almost 21. Am I catching up?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Wait, what? Freaking Corey.
I
child.
recently celebrated my second 21st birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Jesus.
21st. Oh,
Okay,
Like how we
Boomer.
just pulled a can of Red Bull out of the air just to say that. Like, celebrate my second 21st birthday.
Yeah. Oh
You
man.
know,
Yeah.
so after we're done talking about these episodes today, I do want to talk. I do want to stay on and talk to you guys a little bit longer about other things that you guys are watching. We had started to do this back in space and Lost Galaxy, and just kind of fell out of doing it. But I feel like this show lends itself to being compared to other like sci-fi properties that are out there, and just other like other fun shows. And I hope that by us discussing other things that we're keeping up with, the people who are watching can get a better insight into our tastes and why we feel the way we feel about certain things about these episodes. So think about what you guys are watching. All of you folks who are watching us, think about the stuff that you're watching right now and what you like and what you don't like about them, and we'll talk about that after we're done with these episodes. But now let's get into episode 6.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
This is the trip episode, right? Episode 6?
No,
No.
That was 7.
7?
the West episode with his dad.
Okay, I'll save it. I'll save it. Okay.
I thought you were saving it for episode 8.
No, this is just extra information when we get there.
Oh Lord.
Episode 8. Episode 8.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, because I'm like, what's his
Okay,
for
but
episode?
yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and talk about this grumpy ass rich man.
All right, Jonathan, you want to give us the breakdown on episode 6?
Okay, so basically with episode 6, Wes still not really feeling like to be part of his dad's plans and everything, and he finds the aspect of being a ranger to be very exciting, something that he never expected that to have in his life, which again, that's real talk. So it came down to the point where Nadira decides to use the reanimator to bring a mutant that's good at capturing people for ransom. So Tentaclaw is I'm laughing at what Corey just he's like Tentaclaw. It just came out of nowhere. Anyway, so oh my gosh. So actually before this, as they were leaving the park, kids were playing baseball in the park. This kid hits the baseball onto the limo, Mr. Collins' limo. I love how I don't understand what it is with butlers, but butlers make such witty characters. As soon as the ball hit the hood of the car, he's like, nice hit. I don't know why. It's just like butlers are just so witty, petty, and also very intelligent.
They're all Alfred.
Every
butler ever.
Every butler is Alfred. Yeah.
Yeah, you guess you could say every butler is Alfred. So anyway, Nadira, actually, as soon as the kids leave, Tentaclaw hijacks the bus that they're on, and the Rangers race after the bus with the bikes.
Well, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to go back to the baseball thing for a second. So after the butler did that whole nice hit thing and was about to give the ball back to the kids, Wes's father takes it. He's like, you guys aren't getting this back. Let this be a lesson to you. The fuck was the lesson that he was trying to teach them?
That was like, what, dude?
The lesson is that he's an asshole.
That's something
right?
about this show. They're leaving out key aspects. But like I said, I'm saving that for episode 8.
Oh,
they're
Lord.
just like, what was the lesson, sir? Besides the ball hitting your car.
But you think I know people in real life that are like that dude. It's like, what are you trying, like, what is doing this going to accomplish? Especially if you're not telling the kids why you're keeping the ball. Like, yeah, it hit your car, but how is keeping the ball going to teach them a lesson about...
Josh, the lesson is to be more careful next time. Is the
No,
lesson.
lesson is
So-
basically don't hit my car.
You hit my car, you little shit. Now I'm gonna take your ball.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave you all to die. That's the lesson. And so
it's one of those things like where like obviously be, be careful, but they didn't damage the car. Like there was no at least there was no noticeable damage to the hood.
I don't
It
see
was a
no.
legit
the lesson
like
is
it's not like they broke a window. Like if they had broken a window and he was like, "Listen, you'll get this ball back when you pay for this window to be repaired."
Okay, even if he said that, that's even worse. I'm like, they're kids. I'm darn well pretty sure they don't have that
I
kind
know,
of money
but
to
that
fix
would
a
have been
window.
like
they could work it off. He could make them indentured servants and have them running around town.
Oh, now you're making him sound like a monster.
I mean,
But he
did you see
kinda
him in the
is.
rest of the episode?
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, the lesson to be learned is that you hit my ball with a car, I'm not paying your ransom. I mean, that's it. I mean, so I mean, that's the lesson to be learned. You hit my car, you die. So,
Sorry, I just had to bring that up because that was one of the things where I'm like, I can't necessarily completely relate to that, but I've seen this happen before, and it just I don't get it. Continue.
But yeah, so Nadira asks for $10 million, or else the kids will be destroyed. I don't want to say killed, but I guess.
yeah, they're gonna be destroyed.
If they don't turn in $10 million, the kids are gonna get killed. So Wes tries to go to his dad to see if he could get the money. His father was like, "What do you think? I'm gonna hand over $10 million to criminals? Hell no! I'm signing this off to a company so I could get a merger here." So
that was so dick too. Like he was like, no, I'm not gonna give them that kind of money. Here's your $10 million.
$10 million is too much.
It's like, here's $10 million for me to buy.
Coincidentally, the same exact amount.
Yeah.
Like I watch a lot of political news, and that triggered me a little bit. I'm just like, that's real life.
I mean, it kind of is. Like we're dealing with that stuff like in this country right now. Like the things that people are willing to spend money on don't necessarily align with the things that we should be spending money on.
Scarlett Johansson, you cannot have this money. Here you go, The Rock. Like,
it's just such a. It's weird because we'll discuss like my feelings on the episode like later after you get to the end, but like I was saying with Star Trek, the real world implications of the like some of the events that have been happening in Time Force have resonated with me more than the past few seasons. So I'm not necessarily saying I like it better, but it's just like the social commentary that's coming up in this series. I don't know whether that was like a purposely done or whether it's something that just kind of came up naturally.
I feel like it kind of has to be.
Yeah,
I think
with how prevalent it is in the season.
Yeah,
because it reappears like constantly throughout the show. So
I think it's mainly
that just lets you know that humans don't change their priorities even decades in the future.
Zebras don't change their stripes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to jump into the chat here really quick. I just got like 7 messages that just popped up all simultaneously. I don't know if there was a glitch on my system. I didn't see them, so I apologize for not addressing these sooner. Donnie Pearson is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Craig Anderson and Edward Sanchez is here. Jared Hodges is here. Edward Sanchez is asking if we've seen the Power Rangers TMNT figures.
Yeah.
Jezer, I believe, bought those as soon as the link went live.
Jezer,
they're pretty sick.
They look great. They look great. I'm not gonna hold you.
Nah, they look
great.
okay.
Okay, Corey over here hates everything.
I don't want to get into the lightning figures because I got a lot to say about them.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Some are
Corey.
fine. Some are like what?
Especially since it's not MMPR, even though it is. But
look, the ones that look the best are usually the MMPR figures. If you haven't noticed,
what MMPR red?
Outside of Doggy Kruger, because Doggy Shadow Ranger is spot on. I'm just like, hey, look at that dog head.
MMPR red does not look good.
His helmet looks like it's got squeezed.
Well, they fixed the helmets. They just need to re-release the figures with new heads.
They fixed them.
Yeah,
No,
with the
they did with the metallic
armor.
And with the Sentry.
Oh, that's I ain't talking about those. I'm talking about the plain regular figures. I ain't talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to re-release the regular figures so they have the new sculpted head.
And you know what? Suckers like me will buy it too.
I will too.
I do the same thing. Like, you guys are all into like the Lightning figures and the Power Rangers figures and everything. I've recently gotten really into the Star Trek stuff. And QMX, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Quantum Mechanics, they recently put out a Worf figure that's like $25 that looks like really dope. And there's a Picard.
That's the Klingon from
Next Generation.
Next Generation, yeah. Yes, I know stuff.
Captain Picard figure that's like it's like $150, so I don't want to buy it. But it comes with like different hands that like one has like a tricorder, one of them.
And it comes with Patrick Stewart's hair on the head sculpt.
Yeah.
His
crown?
It's his actual hair.
One head has hair, one head doesn't. No, but no, it's kind of like the MODOK that I've got behind me here, where like you can you can't change out facial expressions, but there's different poses and different things that you can do with it. Like I've seen Power Rangers stuff that has similar things. Really quick before we get back to the episode, though, Larry Newbill joined us. And Mikey Nerd Talk, thank you all for joining us. Jonathan,
and Black Wayne is getting a phone call. I think.
know. I'm just like, hold it. That's not what's supposed to happen. I'm like,
yeah, we're doing a show.
We got a copyright strike now for that. That
is not
the ringtone. We get demonetized. The ringtone. I turn it off.
Oh man,
these fucking nerds. They don't learn.
All right. Sorry for that weird action figure tangent, but Jonathan, go ahead and continue.
Okay, so basically Nadira. Wes gets the money to Nadira. He. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought for a second. My bad. So yeah, he gets the money, gives it to Nadira. Nadira sees the money, and then she's like, "Oh, Tentaclaw, kill the kids." I'm like, no. So what? I kind of figured that was gonna happen because usually when you make deals with bad guys, they don't listen. They don't listen. So Wes pretty much gets on his bike, kind of swipes the money away, and rescues the kids.
The end.
And yeah, pretty much.
Hey, the vector cycles are pretty cool.
Well,
I'm into the
as far as like character stuff, at the end of the episode, after the kids are saved, we go back to Wes's father's mansion where they all live unhappily together. And Wes's dad is angry because Wes took the money that was meant for the merger or the buyout or whatever it was. But then all these reporters show up, and Wes's dad is like, "Oh, hi, yes, I did save those children."
Well, and then Wes pulls the biggest F you, Dad, because he's like, and he's donating all the money to the Children's Foundation or whatever. And then he basically says, "All right, I'm gonna head out. See you, Dad."
I kind of saw that coming. That second part I kind of saw coming because that's like the cliche type thing that you see in all of it, like at the end of what was it, Rat Race, where they all won. They ended up at the Smash Mouth concert and they won the prize for getting there first and getting the money. And then John Cleese shows up and they pull him out on stage and they're like, "Hey, this is the guy that's donating all of that money and he's gonna match all of your donations at 200%." And John Cleese is just standing there like, "Oh, but no."
I don't even know what that is, but just hearing that that's being said, I'm like, that is so funny.
Oh man, you need to watch Rat Race. We'll talk about that after this stuff. But it's.
I feel like Time Force would have been a little bit more interesting if Wes' mother was around, because we don't. I mean, does Wes have a mom? Is she dead?
I'm assuming she's dead.
If she ain't there, then she probably dead, or
dead to them.
Guys, this was covered in the first episode. She went out for a pack of cigarettes. And
oh my God, Josh!
Never came back.
She'll be back. She's coming back.
Josh,
that's a really good point, Josh.
Somebody who's richer. Mr. Collins, $10,000. That's too much money. So not for that guy. He's spending.
Oh man.
He's spending $40 million.
All right. So what did you guys think about this episode?
That was pretty good.
Okay, so I kind of want to not change up how we're talking about these, but what did you think about the character portion of the story? Let's talk about that first.
I thought, you know, this is Wes's, you know, like fully like becoming like a ranger at this point. Like this is him like abandoning his rich boy past or whatever and actually becoming a superhero and joining the Time Force full time because, you know, now he's going to be living with them because he said F you, Dad. And all that stuff. And, you know, he actually, you know, stole $10 million from his father to save a group of children.
Steal it. Let's just say borrowed.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
he would have given
it.
He would have given it to them, you know, if he had needed to, you know.
Not a single bill was taken out of the
you know. So I think that was the showed really, really good character development for Wes, surprisingly very early on. And so I really like what they did with his character this episode. Everyone else was fine. You know?
Corey, what about you? Because I know how you feel about this series.
Yeah, Corey, how do you feel?
But outside of how it was displayed on screen, like the actual story, like how did you feel about like the character story in this?
Hey, you know, thinking back, Time Force. Whoa, this was 20 years ago. God damn.
Yeah, so Bryce might have been born.
Yeah. So I was getting ready to turn 1. Yeah, I was born in 2000. So.
Oh wow, you missed Time Force, huh?
No, yeah, I wasn't old enough to remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Damn. I'm
my first season I remember watching was Dino Thunder. Am I jealous?
No, Corey seems jealous.
Oh, okay.
That you missed it.
No.
No, the
way
how Corey feels about it. How Corey feels about this season, you think he would be jealous? Of course not.
I'm sorry, I'm just impacted by that thought that this was 20 years ago. Thinking back to 2001, this was one of the episodes I was cool with. I was like, oh hey, this is a neat
one of the
episode.
episodes I was cool with.
Yeah, and you know, I think that day I went out and I bought the Vector Psycho action figure, the Red Ranger one.
Yeah, whenever you were like 20.
No, I was. I think I was on. I was probably maybe a sophomore in high school.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dang, youngin.
Freaking boomers over
Oh
here.
no, not a youngin, no. Whippersnapper.
I am an exennial. Thank you very much.
Oh god.
I'm a millennial. I'm like on the edge of.
You're fully in.
Yeah.
I'm on that cusp. You guys are like Gen Z or whatever it is.
I not like to identify myself with that crowd.
Zoomer.
Wait, what year, Jonathan? What year were you born?
98, but I don't like to identify as a Gen Z.
So yeah, he's like the first year or something of Gen Z because I think 97's the cutoff. So
I still consider myself a millennial though.
No, you can't.
I don't think you get to choose.
Well, so I mean, this has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about right now. But the way generations are it's like zodiac signs. Like if you know, like when you're talking about like Aries and Pisces and Gemini and all of that, you have people who are on the cusp that share traits with the surrounding zodiac signs. And it's the same thing with generations. That's why, like, I'm what's called an exennial because I'm on the later end of Gen X, but on the early end of millennials, where I grew up with all of the same things that the millennials grew up with. Just I was just a year or two older.
Yeah. But
it all kind of like is a wash in the same way because I also share traits with the Generation X people. But anyway, so
that's pretty.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was neat. It was not much to say about it. It was just a generic ass Power Ranger episode.
I think it was a little more than that, but
okay, yeah, I put it that way since like money was involved and stuff like it was more of a realistic Power Ranger episode.
That seems a lot better.
Jonathan, what about you? Story, like character story specifically.
It definitely did progresses, Wes's character to be more independent because you see how in the beginning of the show there's a huge strain between him and his father. So him actually deciding to make his own choices and saying, I'm going to make my own future now. Him leaving the house was the first step to being, being his own man. So I definitely love that for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
Now they're all get homeless.
No, they have
They live in a clock tower.
Yeah, they have a clock tower. I thought this was I did think this was a good episode for Wes. I think so far I think he is one of the stronger characters that we've seen in Power Rangers up until this point. He kind of is his own person. He's making his own decisions, and he has inner conflicts. We've seen like inner conflicts with some of the past characters too, but I think his are being fleshed out a little bit better. Whether or not it's coming across in the way the episode is playing out, is up for debate. But the actual bottom line of who his character is and what he's doing and where it seems like he's trying to go in his life is becoming more apparent, I think, than it's been with any of the previous teams. And I like that. Like, his dad is a dick. People in real life have to deal with that kind of stuff. He made a decision that, like, I don't know. Like, for you guys, did your parents, or do your parents, like in the case of Bryce and Jonathan, do your parents have like certain expectations of what they wanted you to do versus what you actually do want to do?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give you my whole life story.
Back when I was boy.
It all started November 30th, 2000. But yes and no. I think, in my adult years, the two of them that I've had so far, the 2.5 of them, I think they've been, very, very supportive of, me and my crazy ventures that I've been on so far, especially with Illuminerdi. I think, whenever I first got hired on, I just got, random message on Twitter from Joe saying like, hey, you want to write? And I go, yeah. So for somebody who grew up in small town Illinois, that doesn't happen. Right. So I don't think they knew what the hell to think about it. And I think 1.5 years later, they still don't really know what to think about it. But I think for the most part,
I really don't want to know the answer to this, but I have to ask: are your parents older than me?
Oh my God.
Maybe by a little. How old are you?
42.
Okay, so wait, what year were you born?
79.
Okay, so you and my mom are the same age. And my dad is a few years older than you.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Hey, one time I was dating someone who was a little younger than me, and I wasn't paying attention to it, and I found out I was the same age as her mom. I was like, oh wow.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh wow.
I hope you backed out of that real fast.
Wait, a little bit younger than you?
Be quiet.
No. You said a little bit younger.
No. We don't want to talk about this.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so should I answer?
Yeah. Jonathan, go ahead.
For me, I guess, basically I'm in the same boat as Bryce. Sometimes my folks have, not really they expect me to, to do what I love. One thing my dad always tells me, I stick to it this day. He says, if you enjoy what you're doing, you won't have to work a day in your life ever again. So it's definitely, they don't really have expectations. They just want to see me do what I want to do instead of them always telling me what they want to do. So it's definitely a point where, there's no expectations. Just, if you want to do what you want to do, go for it. But if you're just going to, sit around and do nothing, then we're going to give you something to do. So
yeah, right. I feel like, I've been in the same boat, like my parents have never told me not to go on TV or not to work for Illuminerdi, because I think, I've been very fortunate enough and to have been able to prove that I can do that, I am almost a little too scaringly successful for my age. I've had a TV show already. I'm on here. It's kind of weird, and so I think they're just kind of along for the ride as well. Just trying to figure out like okay, like how far am I going to be able to go with this?
Right.
So I think I'm very, I'm very lucky to have been given the opportunities that I've been given, and I think they understand, that even I might not be making millions of dollars, but these are still incredible opportunities.
Yeah.
For me to progress myself in a further career in broadcasting or journalism or whatever it may be. So
I think I'm pretty much in the same boat. Like I had friends growing up who like it was like, oh well, we're a family of dentists, so you're going to be a dentist, or we're chefs and we own a restaurant, so you're going to be working at the restaurant, and then you're going to take over the restaurant one day, or something like that. And that's kind of what it seems like is the case with Wes, is that his father is like, well, I'm a businessman, so you're going to be a businessman too. I was also lucky in that my parents were like, listen, do what you love, but understand that you're going to have expectations in life of things that you still have to take care of. Like you have responsibilities, and as long as you're able to take care of those, then it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you enjoy it. Like I never had my like with my mom. When I was like, hey, I'm gonna go back to school and I'm gonna get my degree in film, she was like, well, are you sure that's really what you want to do? Not like, don't do this, just make sure this is what you want before you decide that this is what you're going to do, because this is you've been I was working in IT for like 7 years before I decided to switch careers.
Well, now it makes sense now why you're such a tinkerer with the computers.
Right? And well, because my dad was a computer guy too. Like that was what he did. So I grew up kind of being around those. So, and they were all nerds. Like I Star Trek Next Generation, I got into Star Trek because my parents watched it. So that's just kind of how all that happened. But yeah, so they were just like, just make sure that what you're doing is what you want to do, because you can't go back in time and change the past.
Yeah.
And you've only got so much time to get to where you want to be because of the way society works. So just make sure. So I can't necessarily relate to Wes and what he was going through, but I do understand where he was coming from, having had friends that were in similar situations. So
actually,
yeah,
I just remembered an instance where I kind of was like in Wes's kind of position. I used to run a track since I was 8 years old, and by the time I got into high school, like right around my junior year, I was just like, I really got bored of it. Like I didn't want to do it anymore, to the point where I was just skipping practice. I wouldn't even go to practice. I would just hang out after school, like in the school building or like in the schoolyard, but I just like skip practice and all that. And it came down to like, even when it came down to my senior year, again, I was just like fully not into it. It was just like, I don't want to run track anymore. Like I don't like doing it. So it definitely came down definitely came to the point where like after I graduated high school, that was like the first step into be like, okay, I'm in college now. Now I get to do what I want to do. I went to school for theater, got my bachelor's, and I got my Bachelor of Arts and everything. Haven't done anything with it, but it definitely was an example. And that's also hence why Wes is my favorite Ranger, because I relate so much to his story. Corey, stop smiling like that, because I know you're going to say something ridiculous.
Before Corey says whatever I was going to say, like you saying that actually brought up. So it's same thing with me with like Boy Scouts. I did Cub Scouts through like maybe 1 or 2 years of Boy Scouts. My dad, because it was something that we could do together. He could be one of the Cub Masters, or volunteer and help out the troop. It was something that we both did. Come my second year of Boy Scouts, I was like, I'm not into this anymore. Like this isn't fun. I don't like what we're doing. I don't want to spend all this time like just like grinding away getting these merit badges that at the end of the day don't leave me fulfilled in any way. Yeah, I just don't want to do it. And he was like, all right, you can stop, but I'm actually enjoying, doing this, so I'm still going to volunteer. So it's like, cool. Go ahead and do that.
I was like, cool.
All right.
Have at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't know. Corey, do you want to? Did you have something else that you want to say before we move on?
No, I don't necessarily have one of those stories. I was telling my dad wanted me to be a cop, and I thought about it for a little while. Now I was like, no, not really. And he was like,
Dang, we just got deep. Like, what has happened? This is just like turned from Retro Ranger wrap up to I don't know what.
Well, I mean,
retro life story
honestly,
wrap up or
not
whatever.
to get too meta on it, but I feel like these kind of conversations help our discussions with the shows, because like if we can relate what's happening in the shows to our personal lives in some way, it helps us get a better insight into what's going on, and hopefully it's more interesting for the people watching too, rather than just us talking about like why we hated whatever was happening in the episode, or why we really like. I love this episode and I give it a 4. Like there's actually a conversation happening about what the episode means. So if hopefully you guys are not being bored by us talking about our personal lives too much. But let's. Did you have did any of you guys have anything else about this episode that you wanted to touch on before we move on to episode 8 or 7?
No, it was 7. Pretty solid. It's not one that I hated.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right. Well, let's save our rankings for the end. We'll get into all of that after we talk about episode 8. So you guys in the chat again, let us know if there's any specifics about these episodes that you want to talk about, anything that personally spoke to you about them, and we'll bring that up. Bryce, do you want to do episode 7 since Corey has so much to say about episode 8?
Yeah, the most boring episode. I love it. Okay.
Before we start with episode 8?
7.
Trip is a Zybrian. Where are the Zybrians from?
Siberia.
Yeah. And there's a team of Power Rangers that are all Zybrians.
Yeah, the Supersonic Rangers. Yeah,
Supersonic Rangers. Yeah, this one.
So they're all dead. They're all dead.
I'm pointing at the screen like people can see what I'm pointing at. The thing on the middle of the helmet is that on all of their helmets, like where their gem is?
Well, they
have different symbols.
Symbols on their head. Music note. This one is like atomic, whatever atom, and they all got different symbols. I don't know. This is 5-man. 5.
Yeah, 5-man.
Yeah.
Like they're all teachers.
I had to read it.
It'd be a shame if the Green Ranger killed every last one of them.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, so with this Green Ranger, Trip, we start the episode with just like a random fight for some reason, and then they win, yippee, and then they go back to the clock tower, and Michael Capon, Lucas, is playing with Wes, like a card game or poker or something.
Probably,
and
I'm pretty sure it's
like
poker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a boomer, so I haven't really played this card. And
it's just because you're afraid you'll lose. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And
just
so
say you're not good at strategy games. That's fine.
And I'm not. And Trip basically tells Wes exactly what his hand is, and Lucas goes like, dude, like what the hell, and puts like a Band-Aid over his like Siberian gem or whatever. It says like no more reading minds for the rest of the day or something.
Can he read
the rest of the week?
Yeah, or something. And
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's little column A, little column B.
And then Trip takes his pet owl out for a walk. And so yeah, Trip and Circuit go out for a walk, and Nadira is like running away from, like, she's in disguise running away from, what are the foot soldiers called? Cyclobots. She's like, help me, and then Trip helps her up, and then it turns out it's Nadira, and then they go on like a lunch date or something because Trip's an idiot.
He's a hot
Not
dog.
an idiot. He's just kind-hearted. gullible but kind-hearted.
Naive.
Yeah, so
And
Trip's kind of
trustworthy.
an idiot, and so like Circuit's like, bro, like she's like the friggin' bad guy. Like, what are you doing? And like Trip's like, it's fine. And so he gets her a hot dog, and then Circuit gets kidnapped, and then he goes, I'm an idiot. So then he's like looking for Circuit, but then another monster attacks, and so he goes helps them, and then he for some reason tells Wes instead of Jen, like hey, Wes, I gotta tell you something, and then it's probably weird footage stuff, but then he gets like attacked, and then the monster gets away or something, right? And then Trip's like, yeah, that's what I've been meaning. I've been meaning to tell. Oh yeah, the monster goes big or whatever, and then they can't get the Megazord because Circuit's gone. And then like, yeah, I've been meaning to tell you that Circuit got kidnapped. And then so they're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And then Trip goes find Circuit and saves him, and then they get the Megazord to feed him, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's a pretty boring episode.
What is it? The monster's name in this one?
Medicon.
Medicon.
He was one of my favorite monsters in Time Ranger because
Really?
In Time Rangers his name is Doc, and he was arrested for killing people.
So hold on, Corey, I got a question.
Medical procedures.
Okay, so I have a question, Corey. So you like Time Ranger, right?
But the spies
and it's commonly said that Time Force is almost a translation of Time Ranger.
It's like a bad remake. That's the problem.
But so if Time Ranger and Time Force are supposed to be the exact same.
All right, check this out. All right, I'm trying to think of a remake movie. Yeah, I was just gonna say it. Old people think alike. So, like Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Total Recall.
Although those are two completely different films.
But you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
The Fly, the original, The Fly versus Jeff Goldblum, The Fly.
What about Carrie? Did you see the Carrie remake?
Carrie is far back in my memories.
Okay, Coming to America 1 and 2.
As well as that one.
Gosh, come on, man! I should revoke your black card.
Oh man, I'm not very black at all. Outside of my skin, that's the only card I got. I don't even listen to rap, man. Nope.
I mean, okay, that's.
I don't play basketball. I play a little bit of football.
Josh and I are over here going like, we're not gonna say anything.
Hey, I'm Jewish. I've got my own.
Oh wait, actually,
I'll let those two handle
that. Gosh, what about Lemony Snicket's Jim Carrey and Netflix and Lemony Snicket?
Dude, I need to rewatch that. The series is like a freaking masterpiece.
The series was good. I didn't watch the third season.
No, you need to. It's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, how about Spider-Man?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
easy
Yeah.
one.
Let's go with Spider-Man.
Okay. Sure. Let's go with
Which
that.
one?
Spider-Man. Okay, we have.
It doesn't matter.
Tobey Maguire, and we have Andrew Garfield.
And Andrew Garfield is better.
Yeah. Yes, but it's the same movie, but one is translated better than the other based off the source material. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Like I'm saying,
we're gonna be here for hours.
All I'm saying is Time Force is a really bad remake of Time Ranger. They took all the substance out of it. Ghost in the Shell. There we go, Ghost in the Shell. They took the ghost out of Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell had no soul. It was a pretty movie, and it was pretty much one for one. But they took the whole essence of what made Ghost in the Shell out of it.
And Avatar.
I didn't watch Avatar.
Or
Last
Dragon Ball.
We don't
Dragon Ball.
We don't talk about those. We don't talk about them. We don't talk about them.
But that's what Corey's saying though, is that the original was good and he enjoyed the original, but the remake was Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
and Corey is clearly taking it to the absolute extreme. Yeah.
No. We're not at episode 8
I don't
yet.
think we can compare Time Force to Dragon Ball Evolution.
We
can.
The story in this one, like to me, it was a lot weaker than episode 6. like we got like minimal going on with Trip and Nadira. Like they're like I don't understand what we had there was a moral lesson that we got out of episode 6. Episode 7, not so much. Like be yourself.
Don't trust the bad guy.
I guess.
Yeah, it was Trip using his powers a little. He was invading privacy, I guess you can say, with his abilities. So that was him learning a lesson, learning when to use it and when not to use it. Or even if he knows something, he shouldn't say it because
Someone might step in dog shit.
Someone may step in shit. So let him. It's not important.
I mean, he didn't tell him, so you live and you learn. Am I right?
Yeah, no, Corey, I agree with that. That's definitely a good description of what the actual like character story in this one was.
Yeah.
But it
I mean, that one thing is just Circuit their only communication link to the future, because they have the little TV thing, but they have a way to communicate, but only Circuit can call the Megazord.
Yeah.
Sure.
They can't call the Megazord from them. It's not like every other Ranger season where they can call their Zords, or someone's on the deck be like, "Hey, we need the Zords. I'm launching the Zords right now. Here they come."
Yeah, I know, but I mean, that should be established. It just wasn't established. It's just, Circuit's broke. We can't call the Megazord. Is there other means to do it? If they would have said, no, there's no other means. Circuit has a X9 chip, and he's the only one that can, communicate with the Zords in the future. That's just the little things that.
Yeah, it's like that. Was it? Thank you for smoking. Where like they're talking about smoking on a spaceship, and Rob Lowe is like, but how can, or not Rob Lowe, the other guy, Aaron Eckhart is like, but can you smoke on a spaceship with all that pressurized oxygen? And Rob Lowe is like, we'll just add a line like, thank God they invented the blah 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 that lets us smoke in space. That's what you were looking for.
Yeah, it's just it's storytelling. That's just a common issue with Power Rangers in general. It's just things happen.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan knows that's one of my complaints with the past 4 series that we've been talking about is that like all I want sometimes is just one line of dialogue that explains how this works in this universe without making it's not that I don't like thinking about that on my own. I just want a definitive answer to how it works, so that if I have these discussions with someone, it's not 30 different people with their own ideas about how something works.
Yeah.
It just tells us how
even Mighty Morphin has that problem. I know.
Yeah, like I don't really have anything to add for this one. It exists.
It seemed bland.
Yeah.
It's just filler. There's nothing here.
I didn't get anything out of the story from this one like I did with the last one, as evidenced by I don't have anything, to ask you guys.
All right, Corey. This next one is all you. Go nuts.
No, it's not. No, I need you. Go ahead, because you like this one, right?
I never said it was my favorite. I never said that.
Look.
I never said that. I just said
Listen,
I'll say what I have to say after.
It's 2021. Either something is your favorite or you hate it. That's how things work.
Yes, exactly.
I never said this episode was my favorite.
Have you not been on the internet?
I just said I want to know what's Corey's problem with the episode. That was my main.
I'm gonna tell you, but we gotta explain the story, and I can't explain the story without tearing it apart. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll help you.
Yes, just non-biased. Just give us the summary.
Basically, we get a new monster called Bad Catfish.
I thought it was Fat Catfish.
Fat. I thought it was fat, bad, whatever.
Oh.
Okay, so basically Ramsey gives this mutant a ton of money. Nadira he got a lot of money. She starts playing the gold digger. I'm like, oh great, here we go. Mm-hmm. So they spend a little time together, and when Nadira finds out he broke, she leaves him. I'm just like, all right, keep on walking, gold digger. That's how it is. So he gets pissed off, and then he starts attacking the city just because Nadira doesn't want to spend the rest of the day with him. So the Rangers show
normal, healthy male behavior right there.
I mean, for mutants, I guess. Sure. So yeah, the Rangers show up. They attack Fat Catfish. Jen recognizes him because Alex and her and Alex pretty much fought him in the future. And then he starts provoking her by saying like, "Oh, your little boyfriend's not here right now. Why? Oh, that's right. Ranzik destroyed him." And
What a
Jen gets, yeah, Jen has a little Kid Gohan angry Super Saiyan moment and almost tries to blow his head off, but the team steps in and is like, "You need to calm down." And so Bad Catfish, he escapes. He tells Frax, like, "Frax, I need your help." And like, "Come on, we're a team, mutants and robots, friends, right?" And Frax is like, "Oh yeah, sure, I got your back. And then Fat's walking away, like, idiot. And Frax gets a little voice sample from Fat Catfish to put on his voice modulator, and I'm like, "Oh, who's the idiot now?" And pretty much, it's a lot of tossing of like he said. Yeah. Corey, state your purpose.
Okay, so in Time Ranger, bring this in just for some context.
Okay.
The Fat Catfish character killed Yuri's parents. Yuri's the Time Pink killed Yuri's parents. So that is the whole cause of her temper tantrum in the episode. It's like, that's the dude that killed my parents. That's how she snuck into Time Force. That's why she's in the future. I mean, in the past with these guys she don't know is to get this mother effer right here. So once she learns that he was hired by Don De Niro, which is Gluto in Time Force, she said, "Oh, so I actually need to be going after this guy, so I need to calm down so we can bring him into justice." That's the whole premise of this episode of Time Ranger. So now, why is Jen having a temper tantrum? Because she said Fat Catfish tried to destroy me and Alex.
But
that was
but
every monster,
he was just taunting her.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Steppenwolf was doing to Wonder Woman, all in the Snyder Cut.
She was being taunted by Ranzik. She's not.
Well, she wants to kill Ranzik too, doesn't she?
She wants to kill Ranzik too. Like,
no, but she didn't go on this tirade.
I think she would, given the chance.
She had caught even after Homeboy was caught. They brought him in, and this is right when Alex died. Right at the moment he died, she could have killed Ranzik in the truck, but she didn't.
Well, of course.
No, that was before, wasn't it?
They couldn't kill him anyway because he got.
Ranzik. No, Alex died after.
To the future.
After he escaped.
Yeah. Okay, but you get what I'm saying, right? She had.
Yeah, you don't like the change in motivation.
Yes, it doesn't add up. Like she like her whole character should have been on edge until this episode.
I feel like she pretty much was.
No. It's just like.
I don't know. I definitely see where Corey's coming from with this, because like if you look back at the episode where they found out that the clock tower used to be like Nick of Time, Odd Jobs or whatever, and Jen and Wes are working together to paint that dude's office or whatever. Like, she was fine. You didn't get any sense of her being like, "Oh, well, you remind me of Alex, and Alex is dead," and
yeah, like she wasn't out punching trees every day. This is the first time I seen her punch a tree. You get what I mean?
I get that. So your issue is more that there was no build up to her having.
Yeah, there's no build up to her temper tantrum. It just made it seem like it. Well, I don't want to put ladies on the spot, to talk bad about, but like, it was this one of her lady days, and she just wasn't having a good one. There's no explanation to why she's feeling like this other than Fat Catfish was making fun of her dead boyfriend. I'm pretty sure pissed. Somebody said something about Alex the episode prior, and she didn't lose her shit. You get what I mean?
I get it. I
kind of see the other side of it though too, because like if you had lost a fiance that had like literally just proposed to you, and then you're trying to get over it, you're trying to be okay, you're stuck in this new situation, so you're kind of making the best of it. But then one of these monsters comes back and is like, hey, guess what? My boss killed your fiance. Ha ha ha! What a loser! Like you'd probably
it wasn't,
go over.
It wasn't that. It was just because the lines that came out of her mouth. I got this gun to your head, but because you tried to kill me and Alex some time ago, that is. I mean,
I do kind of get that. I do kind of get that because she's not mad. Yeah, because she didn't want to like kill this dude because of what he said about Alex. That would have made more sense. She was saying that he wanted to kill him because he tried to kill her and Alex in the past or in the future.
In the future, which was the past.
Her past, Wes's future.
Yeah. Past,
when it wasn't him, it was Rancic.
Yeah.
And then eventually Rancic killed Alex.
Yeah. So I do get that.
Fell. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole problem I have with this episode. And after rewatching, I was like, I kind of was okay with it. I'm like, oh, I kind of understand it more. But it's just that they leave out elements where they need to connect the dots so we know what's happening, because things are just happening. And it's just like, why is she acting like this?
I think this kind of goes back. I'm gonna say this one thing, and that's where I'm gonna leave it because I don't want to get dragged into this conversation again. But I think this is one of those instances where more original footage would have helped, because they wouldn't have been tied down to having that to work with and trying to figure out how to fit it in with the story that they wanted to tell. If they could have done that all on their own, then you probably wouldn't have had the storyline, because they wouldn't have been stuck with having to use that footage.
And just something petty I want to bring up. She was punching that tree with her wedding ring on.
I was gonna bring that up too.
She had fighting gloves on.
Yeah, but the ring was right underneath those. That would have hurt.
No, you ever punched a punching bag with your bare hands? Even with the gloves on, that's still you. If you had a ring on, you take your ring off if you're gonna punch something.
If it was like a wedding band, it wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact that it was like
it had a rock at the tip. It was small, but it's still
that would have hurt. Yeah. Like, have you ever gotten something in your shoe? Like, you've got your sock on, but you still feel that little pebble every time you step on that pebble.
Like, ah.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's just me being petty right there. But you get what I mean about the whole episode.
No, I was gonna bring that up too, because I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, ow.
She took off her glove and then she's like,
yeah.
I was like, whoa, he was punching you. She a tough cookie.
Yeah, really quick, before we continue, Thomas, I see your question about the crossover. We will get to that as soon as we're done discussing this episode. I just want to get through this first.
What, the Lightspeed crossover?
No. Yeah, he has a question about something else.
Oh,
just like a hey, what would you guys like type of a thing. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my. Now you see, Mr.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. It wasn't all too bad. Okay, that's a justifiable reason to be.
All right, that's not me just talking shit.
But also, like, going back, like, what was the lesson that we learned in this episode? Like, what was the at the
don't
end,
kill people.
At the end of the day.
Don't let monsters provoke your feelings.
They stay doing it. So
I am actually impressed, because I do actually think that Corey's opinion has kind of lowered mine a little bit. I am actually kind of impressed by his argument.
Corey.
I'm like King Shark right now.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though,
I think this is a win for Corey.
I will say though, one of my favorite moments, of course, was at the end of the episode. Wes and Jen having a little moment, and then, Katie, Tripp, and Lucas are eavesdropping on the sideline, which is, again, this goes back to the whole having fun with the acting and all that, and then of course those little subtle, heartwarming, out of the blue moments. Katie and Tripp just making fun of Wes and Jen. I love
yeah.
it.
So okay, so.
Before we move on, my favorite thing about all 3 episodes is Deborah Estelle Phillips.
All right, we get it. Black girl magic.
Such a creeper. So I've got a question for you guys. Since you guys know more about the overall Power Rangers lore than I do, I know that there is a fan theory that Alex is the descendant of Wes and Jen, like way down the line, right?
Wes and no, that's not a theory. He's
I mean,
Alex.
Alex is just the descent. Alex is Wes's ancestor, but Alex and Wes didn't hook up.
No,
What?
Alex and
No,
Wes
you mean
were-
Alex? You
There
mean
was
Wes
an
and Jen?
incident in Time Ranger that happened,
wait.
though. But
Hold on.
I mean,
Well, I mean, in the comics, I don't know, because like in Sins of the Future, I mean, Wes and Jen are still totally together. So I guess it could be possible that like
he's marrying
Alex,
her great
Wes and-
grandson.
Wes
At
and
this
Jen.
point, it does. Yeah, at this point, it doesn't even like they try to pull off a
Yeah.
whole long distance time.
Now, don't get me wrong, Sins of the Future sucked.
Well,
But-
hold on.
but-
just specifically in this series. So, based off of the fact that that Wes and Jen are kind of getting together, let's say, it could be assumed that Alex is their descendant, like way down
No.
the line.
No, that's not a theory. It's basically Wes is Alex's ancestor, hence why Wes was the only one.
Yeah, right. But in theory, if Wes and Jen get together and Alex is Wes's ancestor,
He has to.
you know,
he's a wife.
you know, if Wes and Jen get together and you know have a kid,
it's Captain America and Peggy and Sharon Carter.
yeah.
Unless Wes found Jen's ancestor and they got married.
Okay, now we're getting crazy.
I like that, Corey.
Okay, you look
I
like
like-
a girlfriend for the future. Come here, let me give you a baby real quick.
I mean, to be fair, to be completely fair, I mean, this is gonna sound really weird and kind of gross, but 1,000 years of genetic diversity being built in there would make it not really an issue.
Yeah, it'll be kind of okay.
It's one of those things that's just kind of on the surface. It's just kind of weird.
Now, Steve,
Yeah.
Peggy, and Sharon, on the other hand,
It's kind of like people who marry their cousins, but they're only cousins through marriage.
that's not cousin. That's not a cousin.
That's not a cousin. That's a legit husband and wife.
No,
That's not even a
no,
cousin.
I'm talking about like let's say there's two families and they're related through marriage.
Right.
So then that's
And
not a
then-
cousin.
Because
And
you're
then
not
the
related
other
by
person-
blood.
No, all right, bye. Move on, next
Can we
topic.
end this? Can we end this?
Yeah. So okay. So
And then edit it out afterwards, please.
absolutely. We're talking about Peggy Carter, Sharon Carter, and Captain America. That's but no. So this episode, I would agree with Corey, not necessarily for the same reasons, because I don't know the Time Force or the Time Squad or whatever the
Time Ranger.
Time Ranger.
The time spot.
I don't know that version of the story, but I feel like the actual storyline in this episode was weaker than the other two, and even the first 5 episodes
Wow.
that we've had up until this point.
Even the Trip filler episode.
Yeah, because at least there was a lesson that was kind of learned out of that episode. Like, I didn't necessarily see it up front, but you guys came up with it. You're like, no, it was Trip learning when it's appropriate for him to use his power, and that does make sense. This episode was just Jen going on a rampage, but there was no resolution at the end of the episode after they captured the monster. It was just kind of like, oh well, Wes and Jen are like realizing they have feelings for each other. Cool.
Speaking of future babies,
Oh God.
in Time Ranger, the Yellow Ranger kind of got with someone in the present in 2000. She was like a photographer or a journalist.
She's a freelance photographer.
Wait a
There you
minute,
go.
wasn't the Yellow Ranger a dude?
A man.
Yes.
Yes. So in Gokaiger, they brought those characters back, and she had a son, and it turned out her son was actually the Yellow Ranger's child. And then he found that out, and he was like, "Oh shit, I had a kid."
I have a son.
You know, I
Wow, that's
cried a little
amazing.
bit. I was like, "Dang!" I was like, they came through on a story decades in the future. And I was like,
10
yeah, I wish Power Rangers would do that shit sometimes.
Like 10 years, 10, 11 years later.
RPM Beast Morphers. Oh yeah. Corey, it's not MMPR. It's not MMPR, so he doesn't like it.
Well, look, the RPM thing would have been cool if they would have sprinkled it in, but it came ass out of nowhere.
I mean,
all of a sudden.
If it helps, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I agree a little bit, but I do feel like that they had been teasing it throughout.
Yeah.
No, like if what's Go Ranger's name?
Go Ranger?
Go Ranger.
Which one?
Gold
RPM
Ranger,
or Beast Morphers?
Beast Morphers.
Nate.
Yes, if Nathan was like, if he slipped and mentioned the morphing grid as the biosphere or something like that, or if they were constantly referencing RPM, like just
kind of were in season 2.
Yeah, they
were in season 2.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
All
of
a sudden, and then they had the morphing vote thing with everybody's morphers in there. I'm like, Power Rangers ain't just gonna give up their morphers like that just so he can study them.
I think they did a good job paying off RPM and Beast Morphers.
Yeah.
That was just a lame payoff.
Okay, so these 3 episodes, comparatively, how would you rank these?
The first one was the best.
The
second one was the second best, and or no, the okay. So episode, which one did we start off with? 6.
Yeah.
6 was the best. 8th was the second, and then 7th was the last best.
Same for me.
I'd actually go 6. I'd go in order 6, 7, 8 for me. I think 6 was the best. 7 was relatively okay, and 8 was like it wasn't bad. It was just.
Yeah,
it's like yes, somebody agrees with me. My side. Like I do get Corey's point though. Like I do get it. I just I feel like episode 7 just didn't matter. Like there was nothing there.
It did. But 8 doesn't matter either. It was just dramatic. But where was the motivation for the drama coming from?
Okay, I see your point.
Yeah, it's just dramatic. It's just like you walk up to somebody and they're crying. Oh, why are you crying?
That's just high school, Corey. I mean,
you know,
that's
you feel bad for the person crying, but why are you sad?
I'm trying to figure out, why are you sad? Tell me so I...
Do you have depression? Did someone die? Why are you sad? So I can empathize.
Help you.
Exactly, that too.
Yeah. No, I get that. So yeah, so I think we agree. You guys in the chat, let us know how you would rank these episodes, what order you would put them in, and while you guys are doing that, I'm going to ask the 3 of you Thomas Franco's question from the chat. He says, if we had an all-female Ranger team-up crossover, would Hasbro have to get the suits from the comic and Hyperforce made, and the past female Ranger a Master Morpher?
What?
I'm not sure I understand that.
Okay, let me read the question myself. Okay, so
I got the question, but it's like, what if there's an all-female crossover? Who's in the crossover?
Yeah, actually.
And then
he's talking about the suits from the comics. Like I'm sure they'd be able to use the suits from the show.
Yeah, but are you gonna put? That's not possible to put every female Power Ranger on one screen. Like, that's not. I mean, they'll do it in Japan.
Possible.
They'll do it in Japan, but they won't do it here in America. And why?
Well, I mean, I think they still could. I mean, they could do like what they did with Grid Connection, just have the rest of them.
They could just sit there and stand around. And
then
you can have 5 main characters. I mean,
right.
The 5 main characters, but I mean, how is the Master Morpher relevant outside of which female would need a Master Morpher? Cat
would need one. Cassie would need one. Tanya would need one. Ashley.
That whole little Zeo turtle.
I guess Gia, but Gia's Morpher basically is a master.
It's Gia.
Gia's
So I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know if he's asking what our roster would be or if it would even be possible. I mean, I guess theoretically it would be possible, but I mean, I don't know. Would you guys want to give your roster or a crossover?
Let's collectively make a roster.
Okay.
5.
Cassie. Cassie's in it.
Okay.
That's my girl. Cassie, and Trini.
Jen is definitely on that roster. Oh, and Delphine. I gotta add Delphine on there.
Summer from RPM.
Okay, that's good. Oh, that's a good choice.
So then Kimberly, we just leave out the original.
We got Trini. We got.
No, he said.
Yeah. So Trini's gonna be the leader. How about
Yeah.
that? There we go.
I thought Jen would be the leader. No, I thought Delphine would be the leader.
Delphine? Why?
No, you gotta have the veteran.
What, she was in like 10 episodes?
First female leader of the Power Rangers.
I guess so, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're
no,
around.
Kimberly, Wild West Rangers.
No.
No.
Oh.
Leon Cowboys out of here.
Oh, man. What about Josh? Are you gonna bring in a draft pick or what?
He can't because he hasn't watched that many.
We need a sixth.
Oh, you've seen enough.
Let's
RPM
go.
Silver. There we go. We got his 6.
Okay, fine.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like, all right. Who's
All right.
Maya?
Oh, from
Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy.
Oh, Maya.
Yeah, I forgot too. I had to think about it.
Yeah, I forgot one of my favorites. I don't forgot her name. That's sad.
Maya was right. That's a surprise.
Yeah, Maya, I love Maya.
The one who did nothing? Okay.
You
Whatever.
don't really hear a lot of people say Maya is their favorite.
No,
Usually,
not my favorite, but she's one of my
If I were picking a female ranger from Lost Galaxy, it would have been Corone.
or Kendricks. Hey.
I mean, it's not a lie. I like Kendricks too.
I like how he was just like, I feel insulted.
Like I feel like Corey was looking for his pearls.
Oh man. Oh, Corey, don't drop your camera again.
Oh no, it's just my iPad. I'm just closing it. You know.
So,
All right, so before we wrap out today, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, I just wanted to talk to you guys about what you're currently watching and what your feelings are about those things that you're watching. So I will start. Recently, I watched the part 1 of Masters of the Universe Revelation.
is that out?
Yeah. On Netflix.
Oh.
And
Okay.
And I watched another Netflix series from like 2 years ago called Daybreak. That was like
Hold on, real quick.
apocalypse thing.
Is the Masters of the Universe, is that connected to the She-Ra series that Netflix did?
No.
Okay.
No,
Gotcha.
they're completely they're not even like multiverse connected. Like they're just completely separate things.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I also watched a thing from, I think it was 2019 that came out called Daybreak, which was like, it was about a bunch of high school kids surviving in the in like a weird zombie apocalypse thing.
I think I see
Matthew Broderick was in it, and like he was really the only like name that was in it.
Wow, that's pretty epic.
But Masters of the Universe, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people were complaining about what I don't.
He-Man's not in it.
Like, I'm assuming since Bryce didn't know that it was on, that you have seen it. But
I mean, that's I'll admit.
Well, Mark Hamill, he's Skeletor, right?
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Skeletor.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I
I haven't watched. I'm behind on Transformers. You guys were talking about this, but before we went live, I saw the first War for Cybertron series that they dropped, but I haven't watched the follow-ups.
Watch the first one, skip the second one, just go to the third one.
Okay, I can see why you said skip Earthrise, because Earthrise really did.
Never got nothing to do with nothing.
So, all right. So, for someone who has never gotten into Transformers, where does one begin?
Prime. Watch Prime. Stop disrespecting Prime, Corey.
I'm not disrespecting Prime. I'm just like to get Transformers as what it is collectively, because Prime is too much like the movies.
I kind of liked Transformers Armada.
Corey don't like Armada. That's the thing. Corey doesn't like Armada, even though.
But like, I would say
do Beast Wars. I would say do Beast Wars, but it's gonna be kind of hard to watch.
It's like reboot animation.
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
It's janky ass animation, but it's really you love everybody there. I love every last one of the motherfuckers there. every last one of them.
I'm not gonna lie though, because I just put Beast Wars on my list because of the hype of Kingdom that just released. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I will give Beast Morphers a. Oh my gosh, Beast Wars. Corey, shut up. Beast.
Wrong
Wars.
Hasbro series.
So Jared Hodges is saying that you should watch Beast Machines first, or no, watch Beast Wars and Beast Machines first.
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Watch Beast Wars first. If you have you're on Apple iTunes.
It's on Tubi.
Is it on Tubi?
All of it's on Tubi.
Oh
okay.
yeah, there you go. Watch some G1. You can watch the first season of G1, and then you get an idea of what Transformers is.
I was gonna say the first 2 seasons of G1, and
why not? Why don't we just watch all of G1?
No.
Once you get in the second season, it's just crazy 80s anime cartoon.
But would you have him watch the Transformers animated movie from '86?
Of course.
Yeah.
So wouldn't he need to watch most of G1 to understand what's happening in that?
First, that's why I said
you know who Optimus Prime is, right?
That's why I said just the first 2 seasons of G1, then the movie, and then stop.
If you know who Optimus Prime is, you know who Megatron is, and you know that they fight. That's all you need to know.
you don't have any attachment. Like this was kind of my problem with Batman v Superman. Like if you just watch the Transformers '86 movie, you don't really have an attachment to Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you just kind of thrown into the middle.
You just kind of like sucked in, which it doesn't make it bad, but having that context with who Optimus Prime
but like I said,
you can why they would be upset when what happens.
You can just watch the first season of G1 and go into the movie because the '86 movie is not connected to anything.
Oh yeah, true. You're right.
Well, it is afterwards though.
Yeah, because I watched season 1 all the way into Beast Wars just recently. The movie is not connected to anything. Like you know where it fits because you're going into season 3 where Optimus Prime is the leader all of a sudden, so you know the movie is before that. But if you watch season 1 of the original Transformers, then you watch the movie, then you're okay.
It's been
because they kill off the entire cast in the first 10. Oops, spoilers.
That is not a spoiler.
It's been so long since I've seen like G1 of Transformers. It's hard for me to remember which episodes were in what.
Oh no, I know my Transformers like I do my Power Ranger.
I wish I did.
See, for me that's Star Trek. Like I know, like I'll get seasons and like what episodes, certain episodes of Star Trek were like in season wise. But like you could mention an episode. I'm like, yeah, I remember that one. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened.
Like I have my entire life divided. Like for me to remember things is like what season of Power Rangers was it? It's like 1998. That was Power Rangers in space. I was in high school, so that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give my list of what I'm watching. I've been binge watching that Netflix family sitcom, Family Reunion. It's so good. It's just one of those things where I just like needed a laugh because I think was it 2 months ago? Yeah, 2 months ago. My brother was watching the Upshaws, which was kind of like the opposite of what Family Reunion was, but because I felt like I wanted to watch something that just make me laugh because I haven't really. There's not that much good sitcoms out there.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like that's been my past couple of years. I've been slacking on watching movies and other TV shows that I feel like I should be watching just because I haven't wanted to sit down and watch something that's going to make me depressed. It's because the
the CW shows right now.
Reading the news already makes me depressed enough. I don't need to sit down and watch a fictionalized thing to make me even sadder about.
Man, apparently Civilization got 10 years left. We all still gonna be here. So
yes. Oh yeah, I'm also still watching Once Upon a Time. I'm currently on the 2nd season. It took me a while to get through season 1, but
it's. Okay, so I watched all of Once Upon a Time. It's basically the same show every season.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they reboot, new curse, same thing happens. It's just like I don't want. I mean, it's hard to spoil it for you because it's all fairy tale stuff that you already kind of know. But it's just I don't know. Like I kind of hate watched it. Like I like it's one of those things. Like, have you ever watched a show just because you wanted to see how bad it was going to get?
That's gonna be me when that Powerpuff Girls.
That was me with 13 Reasons Why.
Like when I was watching The Flash, and I'm like, The Flash is not all that great anymore. So I'm just let me finish out this last season. And then my homegirl came back. I'm like, now I gotta watch it. And then it was just terrible.
Like here's the thing with Once Upon a Time though. Like it's not bad in that it's like the people in it are bad because like Josh Dallas I think is really good. I like Jennifer Morrison. What's her name that plays the evil queen?
She's good too. She's really good.
Like all of the actors in the show are just so good. I just feel like almost similar to Heroes. Like I got a very similar vibe to Once Upon a Time that I had to Heroes, where it was just even Glee. Like Glee wasn't like a genre show, but it just felt like the same stories just kept getting rehashed over and over.
Yeah,
and over
Heroes
again.
got really gimmicky.
Yeah, and like all of the people in the show were good. The storylines just not so much. But no, like I think you'll get a kick out of some of what happens in Once Upon a Time. It's worth watching if you're enjoying it. It just gets stale.
Yeah, trust me, I understand. That's how it was with Smallville.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, Smallville had.
Smallville, like the first 4 seasons were like a slog fest.
See, for me, it was like it was the first 2 seasons was kind of a drag to get through. The third, fourth, and fifth were okay. The 6th and 7th were kind of eh. The 8th season was pretty good. The 9th season was all right, and then the 10th season was just
bad.
Yeah,
it's a mixed bag. When you drag out a whole origin story for 10 seasons that everybody already knows.
10 years to take him to become Superman. 10 years. Oh, it's so long. I suggest everyone. You know what? When we're done with Time for, are we still doing the watch something else after we finish the season? Are we still doing that thing?
Oh, we can. If there's something, if there's a short thing that you have that you think we should watch that kind of fits into.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna bring in Gridman into this.
12 episodes.
I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I did only watch the first 4 or 5 episodes, I believe, and then I just fell off. But
bro, you gotta finish that shit, man.
I know.
Maybe
you gotta finish it.
Maybe
look.
Maybe we can do a one-off, like because 12 episodes that should only take us like 2 weeks to get through.
Yeah.
We can do 6 and 6.
Look what happened to me. Look what happened to me. It didn't stop.
It took over your life.
Gridman.
Oh man.
Gridman.
Yeah, Gridman.
There you go.
Gridman. I done lost my mind. I got lost my goddamn mind. Gridman.
He's got it on.
Yes, he has the henchman device.
Wednesday night, Joe and I went to the season premiere party for Star Trek Lower Decks. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the show. It's basically Rick and Morty in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
Not quite as offensive as Rick and Morty is, but it's that style of humor because Mike McMahon was one of the writers on Rick and Morty. It's really good. So that comes back this week. I was really and Jerry O'Connell is such a fucking nice dude. Like
he is. He actually is.
Like he was just walking around the party, just like randomly introducing himself to people. Like Joe, like they gave us assigned seating for this thing to make sure that everyone was spaced apart and people who came together were sitting together and had seats. So Joe went over to sit down, and I went back over to the bar to grab another drink before they started the screening because they had like food trucks and like a bunch of other stuff out there to do. So I'm at the bar. Joe's sitting down in our seats. Jerry O'Connell's walking by to his seat, stops and starts chatting with Joe for a minute. Just introduces himself and stands there. And I come back and sit down. And Joe's like, "Dude, you just missed Jerry O'Connell. He came over, he introduced himself. We chatted for a couple of minutes. It was dope." So I was like, you know, I've talked to him before. Like I haven't personally interviewed him, but like I've shot interviews with him at like all of the DC press events for the stuff that he's voiced Superman 4. But before they started the screening, he moved seats to sit with some of the other cast members, and he walks by, sees me sitting there, and that he hadn't said hi to me yet, so he stops on his way over, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Jerry. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming."
Wow,
like,
he seemed.
Hey, I missed you. I didn't catch your name. What was your name? Random person I didn't meet before.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not upset that he didn't remember me, because like he meets like so many people.
So
at these
many
press
people.
things.
Yeah.
Like I used to work at Universal City Walk in Orlando, and I would, people, because I would just be standing at the kiosk selling merchandise all day. Every once in a while, people would just like wander over to look at stuff, and because they didn't have anything to do, because they were wasting time waiting for something else, they would just like stand there and talk to me.
Yeah.
So like randomly, I would have people that would come back like 4, 5, 6 months later, see me over there, and then come over and say hi and expect me to remember them from like 6 months earlier. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are, man. I'm sorry. I don't remember what we talked about.
I'm like, I see a lot of faces that come in and out of the store. I don't always
like,
remember.
I
y'all.
may remember you, maybe not.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But I was never a dick about it though. I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. I like, what were we talking about? I don't remember. Because it's, I'm not a dick. There's people who I've met who like I've got like I was at a party, and like a Miss America, former Miss America had come in, who I'd met previously on one of the other jobs I had worked on, and it was the same type of thing. Like we had a full-on conversation, but someone who didn't know that we had met each other before introduced us. They were like, "Oh, hey, Josh, this is." I don't remember what her name is now. This is so and so.
What her name is now?
She changed her name. Like she was Miss America like 3 years ago or something. And I was like, oh yeah, we met at this event last year. It's good to see you again. Blah 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 blah. Her response was, "I meet a lot of people. Not. I'm sorry, I don't remember you. But it's good to see you again anyway. Just I meet a lot of people." I was like, wow, well, fuck you too.
Yeah. Jeez. So I've been watching iCarly.
The reboot?
The reboot?
Yeah, the reboot.
Oh, that's what that was. I thought she just came back. Why do you reboot it? I mean, why can't she just come back and be older?
Well,
that's what it is.
That's what relaunch.
But tell me why every time I open YouTube and the first thing I see on my home screen is like a compilation of every single time someone swears.
That's stupid. I hate that so much.
I'm just like, it's just okay. They swear in iCarly now. Okay, we get it. We're in the age where swearing is pretty much said in almost every TV show now.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate that.
So this is a question I ask a lot of people every time I see people complaining about swearing on like TV, because people complain about that in like Star Trek, because in Discovery and Picard, there's been a couple of like F-bombs that were dropped. Why are these words offensive?
I don't think it's that. It's just that it's new.
Okay, so like
it's like they didn't do it before, so why are they doing it now?
I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, like they didn't do it before because they were on network TV and they couldn't. Like Nickelodeon, you can't say shit on Nickelodeon. It just,
that's a case. That's a lawsuit.
Yeah, you just can't do that. I mean, they could do that if they wanted to, because it's Nickelodeon, it's cable, not broadcast television. But because of what Nickelodeon is, they couldn't do that.
Yeah, why is the F word offensive? It doesn't mean it. It's not like the N word. It's not like
right. It doesn't. The word itself doesn't have a negative connotation. It's how it's being used that determines what it is. Like the N word. If I said that, doesn't matter like in what manner I'm using it in.
You're like, in big trouble.
Yeah, it's just, and that's just like a hard no. But like if I like, what's the difference between me saying, hey, we're gonna end the show because I gotta go take a shit, versus I gotta go poop? Like, it means the exact same thing. Yeah. But someone's gotta be like, oh, shit's a bad word, you shouldn't say that. But it's okay if I say poop and it means exactly the same thing.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
It's one of those things. I don't get it. I've never understood it.
It's like, I guess it's a whole trying to play it safe kind of thing, where trying to keep it,
like PG words like hell, damn, shit.
Right.
Like they don't mean anything.
Yeah, like why? Like what made those words come to be considered vulgar in the first
I
place?
don't
Oh
know.
no, I don't know.
I think besides people being big child babies about them swearing in iCarly, I think the show, it has its ups and downs. There have been some off episodes, but overall, I think it's been able to capture the original fairly well and grow up with the audience, which you rarely see today with kid shows that get brought back. Usually they're still trying to target kids, but the kids have grown up. So that doesn't really work very well. So I like that, and then I've also been watching the '90s Spider-Man animated series on Disney Plus.
That is my Spider-Man.
Corey,
Like,
what's your
Yeah.
problem?
legit?
Corey,
The
what's your
90s
problem?
Spider-Man series, the original 90s Spider-Man series.
Corey, what's your problem?
That's my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I
Corey,
used to love it, and then I just started having a problem with it.
what's your
You have a
problem?
problem with everything, Corey.
For real, like everything I grew up with, you had a problem with.
I mean,
like,
I grew
get
up with
it.
it too. What are you talking about?
It's a hokey show. He's got that voiceover that he does every episode.
He's so buff. He's the buffest Spider-Man in the world.
I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but being that that's what I grew up with, I still like that's
Yeah, if I think the Spider-Man theme song, that's the one that comes to mind, not the Spider-Man, not that one. It's it's the cartoon, the '90s one.
the hardcore metal guitar riff.
So two more questions, and then we'll wrap out. Things that you're excited for that are going to be coming out. For me, the Lord of the Rings series and Wheel of Time series that are both coming up on Amazon sometime next year. I am super excited for both of those. And Shay was actually just telling me about this last night, and this might fit into the what is something that we can talk about on this show that's not Power Rangers related. Apparently Amazon is exclusively getting the new Neon Genesis stuff.
Oh, about freaking time! I've been trying to watch those new ones. I mean, I like Neon Genesis is another one of my. But I don't. But the remake stuff, I'm just like, because I've seen the originals, and the originals did the good job.
Like I saw the originals like way back when I was a kid when like Sci-Fi Channel used to show anime on Sundays. But I don't remember anything about them at all. Like I know they exist, and that's about as far as my memory about them goes.
Yeah, it's just that I like the original dub, and I'm just hearing other people's voices in there. I'm just like, who are you?
No, I can get that. That's how I feel about Dragon Ball Z. Like I tried watching one of the Dragon Ball shows subtitled, and I couldn't get past Goku's voice.
See?
Oh man, you sound like a
I'm not
girl
the only
in the
one.
Japanese ones. It's so weird. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Probably because he was voiced by a girl.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but
same thing with Sword Art Online. Like some of the newer episodes weren't available on Hulu dubbed, so I was like, I'll just watch the subbed version. Tried watching the subbed version, I was like, I can't get past these voices.
Well, you can watch all of it now since all of it's on Netflix.
I'm caught up now. But before, like for some reason, Hulu was being weird about which episodes were going up, and so I don't know. But so again, before we go, let's start with Corey. What's coming out that you're excited to watch?
Oh man, they came out already. I ain't got nothing else. It was really I guess I'm just waiting for Shang-Chi to come out now. That's really it.
Yeah.
Everything else I done watched Dinah Xenon, Singing Snake Eyes. I'm sad that it didn't do well. They probably gonna reboot G.I. Joe Universe again. When they got a good Baroness, I'm like, dang, I ain't gonna never see her again.
Oh, you didn't like Baroness from
No, I love the Baroness.
No, from Rise of Cobra.
Snake Eyes, but I'm like, I'm probably won't see her as that character.
Oh,
that actress as that character. And yeah.
Wait, did you like the actress that played Scarlet or the one that played Scarlet in Rise of Cobra? Which actress did you actually prefer?
I don't really care for Scarlet. I didn't care for her in G.I. Joe either. I'm like, who? Oh, she's Scarlet.
Because crazy thing is, when I was researching about Scarlet's character, because she was the only Joe that was in the Snake Eyes movie, I found out that her and Snake Eyes were actually a romantic affiliation. I'm like, really? I never knew that.
Oh yeah, they were.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So that was
my Joe history. I'm like, oh yeah, they were a thing.
Cause I never knew that.
Yeah, but yeah.
Suicide Squad was good. If
Yes.
you guys haven't seen
Yes.
it,
Watch it.
So much
Loved
fun.
it.
Definitely watch it. It's
Too
a whole new
short.
movie. Like it's complete. Like the characters that are crossing over from the original. Same characters but different versions of themselves. But it's the works.
I mean, I think they still are the same. They're
Yeah,
just in a
well,
different
Well,
situation.
Joel Kinnaman was talking about how with the James Gunn film, as opposed to the David Ayer one, they sat down before they filmed and were like, and they were like, okay, so your character is going to share some of the same traits that you had in the original film, but we're going to change you up just a little bit for this one. So they're different versions of the same characters, but they're still the same. It's a soft reboot, not a.
Yeah, I probably have to go back and watch it to see. I mean, I know everybody's just a bit more dramatic.
Yeah,
Captain Boomerang didn't have his unicorn.
No.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying not to Tom Holland this shit right now. So
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
because I just watched it this morning and I'm trying not to like say anything. So, but yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. But before we wrap out, do either of you guys have anything that Jonathan or anything that
so
you have
I'm kind of looking forward to the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I'm not like those weirdos on
I'm
Twitter
tired of asking
who
for that
keep
trailer at
getting
this
it
point.
trending every day. It's like just wait for it, maybe like it'll come out whenever it's ready to be released.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited for it. Yeah.
Yeah, be excited.
You
to
know,
see
but
the
I
trailer,
don't need it right now. You know, like would I be
the
happy if
movie
I
is
got it
still
right
coming
now?
out.
Yeah.
Like,
But
you're gonna go see the
hopefully
movie.
if it doesn't get delayed because of Delta. But
right. But either way, you're going to see the movie whether or not you've got the trailer ahead of time. So
yeah. So
Chill out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little worried about that film because I'm cautious that they're doing too much with it. But I'm still definitely intrigued to see how they pull this off. Because we already know kind of the whole plot. So we just got to see how it's going to be executed. But no, I think that's a big one. Well, God, I guess what if? That's not what I'm OGODing about. I'm OGODing what comes out the day after, which is Titan season 3.
I've been hearing a lot of things.
I am so excited for Doom Patrol to.
I've been hearing a lot, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about Titan season 3 though. Like
really?
Yes.
So
I hope they
think
get
I
it
might
right
actually
this
start
time.
watching it.
The third time's a charm, I guess, because
it's just
good lord, it's horrible.
Yeah,
and I love those characters. Like Nightwing,
Yeah,
Nightwing is my favorite superhero. And whenever he became Nightwing at the end of season 2, I just did not care.
Why'd you take so long?
Yeah, I just did not even care. And
like,
he's my favorite superhero.
Like he burned his Robin R in the first season. I'm like, dude, you should have been Nightwing since like season 1.
You should have been.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah.
And then they focused the whole season on one character.
Whenever there's like 10 of them that they have to.
Yeah, it's like everything's about Raven, then everything's about Beast Boy in the second one. I'm just like, bro.
Too many stories, like too many plot lines. Too many plot lines.
Yeah.
I know. We're closing in on your time for the retro Sentai, so I don't want to cut you guys off.
No, we pushed it back like 3 times already, Josh. Chitter chatter. So.
Oh boy.
Man.
Sorry, you guys like talking.
The one that likes talking the most is you.
You could easily say, "Hey, we got another show." But before we wrap out, Jonathan, do you have anything to add?
Just Titan season 3. I know there's some other DC. Oh, Young Justice Outsiders. I mean, not Outsiders. Phantoms season 4. That's
when does that happen?
Right after the end of Titan season 3. That's gonna be October. So looking forward to that. I'm really, because I was waiting so long for a premiere date for season 4. I was like, I know it's in production, but when's the premiere date? Because I don't want to wait another year for season 4. So thankfully,
you waited like 7 for season 3.
Man,
yeah, all right.
And that was a struggle. But yeah, Young Justice season 4. I'm looking forward to. Titan season 3. Oh, Stargirl season 2 starts on Tuesday, so that's gonna be interesting. That's
I'm excited.
Corey, shut up. Corey, shut up. I know you had that look on your face.
Season 1 was good.
Thank you. It was actually
Nah,
good.
I couldn't get into it. I was like,
think
these high school kids.
Superman and
I don't
Lois and
understand.
Stargirl are like the 2 best.
All right. I know we're trying to end this show, but I don't understand what society's interest in high school children, because like teenagers are just the most awkward people, and they don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going.
That's what makes them
Everybody
interesting.
wants to make a teenager a superhero.
Because currently a lot of adults feel the same way.
Then why not just write about adults?
Because
look up adults.
That's a really odd argument.
And then you don't get teenagers to play teenagers. You get young adults to play
well,
teenagers.
I could get that one.
Yeah,
because teenagers aren't mature enough.
But that's kind of been.
It's also a child labor type thing. It's easier with adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, child labor laws.
I can't. If it's just like, well, no, that's just anime. I mean, Gridman's about teenagers anyway. Okay. All right, well, show's over. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
We're done.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap out. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to stay tuned for the Retro Sentai wrap up coming up with Bryce and Jonathan and Ian. Right? Is he on that with you?
Yeah. Well, he's had some scheduling conflicts the past few weeks. So hopefully we'll get him back next week or the week after that.
All right.
But yeah.
Then tomorrow, the Illuminati Wrestling Order at 8. Rick and Morty is currently in limbo because as I said earlier, I'm driving up to Sonoma County for a new gig tomorrow. So I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like. So I don't know if we'll be doing that. Star Trek Lower Decks. Jamie and I will start talking about that this week, and then everything will start over again Thursday with Star Wars: The Bad Batch, the finale. And I think that's about all we got there. Make sure to like us on all social media. The Illuminerdi. You know how to find us. Click stuff. Find us. We'll put a poll up. I know we talked about this earlier. We'll put a poll up for what we want to cover after we're done with Time Force. We could put on Neon Genesis. We could put on Gridman. Maybe take a couple of audience picks and put them up on the poll. And we'll figure that out. But we've got like 30 episodes to go, so. We got time. So I guess enjoy the next show, and I will speak with you guys later, and we'll catch you guys later.
Hey everybody.
Laters.